Hi, sorry about that. I only get 15 minutes to record my videos and I just ran out of time. So we're going to finish this one up and then you can do your IXL and then you'll finish the rest of this video. Okay, so let's just finish this example. Recap here, -2, so you added 2, times by 5, so you divided by 5. So far we're at b squared equals 3. Now we have the squared. We need to get rid of squared by square rooting both sides. So we come to Desmos, type in the square root of 3. We get 1.73. So that means b equals 1.73 or b equals negative 1.73. Two answers. Rounding it to hundredths, remember if you ever need to, 2 decimal places. Okay, I need you to stop the video. I need you to go do your IXL, and then you're going to come back and finish the video. Okay, it is not beneficial at this point to finish this video. It's more beneficial for you to go and do the IXLs, which look like all of those problems, and then finish the video and do the assignment for the rest of it after that. Okay? All right, so now let's talk about when we have parentheses. So SADMEP says parentheses go last, and that is true in terms of get rid of anything on the outside of the parentheses, but then you go back and do SADMEP again. So you go through SADMEP for what's outside the parentheses. If you have adding or subtracting outside of the parentheses, multiplying or dividing outside of the parentheses, the exponent on the outside of the parentheses, you would do that first. Then you deal with your parentheses, and then you go through it again for what was on the inside of the parentheses. Okay? So we're going to go through some examples because I know that's super confusing right now. So first thing you do when you look at this problem is look to see addition or subtraction, then multiplication or division, then exponents on the outside of your parentheses. So outside of the parentheses, I don't have anything other than I have exponents. So I'm going to start by square rooting both sides. So on the left side, your square root and your square just cancel each other out, leaves you with x minus 3 equals. Now, here's the other thing that's new with the parentheses. It's not new, it's just a new place to do it. You are taking a square root. When you take the square root, you get 2 answers. So I get x minus 3 equals, the square root of 4 is 2. Or x minus 3 equals negative 2. So here's where I get my 2 answers from the square root, because square rooting gives you 2 answers. So now I have 2 equations. I'm going to solve this equation on the left, and I'm going to solve this equation on the right. Okay? So if I come over here and look at this one, I have x minus 3 equals 2. Get rid of that minus 3 with adding 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Or I'm going to come over here and do x minus 3 equals negative 2. Because I have minus 3, I need to add 3 to both sides. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So you should still get 2 answers. But your 2 answers are not going to be the same in opposite numbers because you didn't square root at the end. You square rooted somewhere in the beginning or in the middle. Okay, so let's try another one. Go through SADMEP for on the outside first. So look outside your parentheses. Do you have addition or subtraction? Not on the outside. Do multiplication division? Yes. Okay. Big thing, you cannot distribute. You need to make sure you write that down. You cannot distribute. Instead, I have this 2, I'm timesing, so I'm going to get rid of it with dividing by 2. Okay. You can't distribute because of this squared. This squared keeps you from allowing to do that. So now you're going to simplify. Your 2 divided by 2 cancels, leaves you with p plus 4 squared equals, and then 98 divided by 2 is 49. Notice that nothing on the inside changed when I divided by 2, because this 2 and this 2 cancel out. Nothing happens with this 4 because it's inside the parentheses. Now, after you multiply or divide, you deal with exponents. So I have my squared. I need to get rid of my square rooting. When you square root, you get 2 answers. So on the left side, your squared and your square root are going to cancel, leaves you with p plus 4 equals square root of 49 is 7. Or 2 answers, p plus 4 equals negative 7. When you square root, you get your 2 answers. Now finish the problem. I have p plus 4 equals 7, so I need to subtract 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. Then I go to my other problem. P plus 4 equals negative 7. I subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. Negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. There are your 2 answers. P equals 3 or p equals negative 11. Next one, h minus 2 squared plus 3 equals 20. Start with addition or subtraction on the outside of your parentheses. I have plus 3, so I'm going to minus 3 from both sides. So you leave your h minus 2 squared. 3 minus 3 is gone. Equals 20 minus 3 is 17. After addition or subtraction, you would look for multiplication or division. We don't have any of that on the outside of our parentheses. Next, we move to our exponents. We have exponents, so you get rid of that with square rooting. Gives you h minus 2 equals, I don't know what the square root of 17 is. Let's go to our calculator. All right, so remember we're going to round to hundredths. So 4.12 is the number we need. 4.12. Or h minus 2 equals negative 4.12. So take the same thing on the left side, h minus 2 and h minus 2. The right side has your positive answer or your negative answer when you square root. Now you can finish solving this. I have h minus 2 equals 4.12. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. 4.12 plus 2 is 6.12. Oops, 12. Or h minus 2 equals negative 4.12. I'm going to add 2 to get rid of the minus 2. Negative 4.12 plus 2. If you're not sure, you can also come back to Desmos. Negative 4.12 plus 2 leaves you negative 2.12. Two answers. All right, our next one. Start with getting rid of any addition or subtraction on the outside of the parentheses. Don't have any on the outside. This one inside here is stuck because of the squared. Next, you need to look for multiplication or division on the outside, which I have. Remember, you cannot distribute, so you need to get rid of that with dividing by 2 on both sides. Leaves me with my c plus 4 squared equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. After your multiplication or division, you would get rid of your exponents. I have a squared, so here's where I'm going to square root both sides. Leaves me with the c plus 4 equals. Need to go find the square root of 5. It is 2.2 or, because that 6 rounds it up, so 2.24, or take your c plus 4, but now it equals negative 2.24. So now let's work on the equation on the left side. I have c plus 4 equals 2.24. So since I have plus 4, I need to subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to take 2.24 minus 4. Get negative 1.76. Or I'm going to subtract 4 here also. So I'm going to take negative 2.24 minus 4, get negative 6.24. So you should always get two answers. They won't always be one positive and one negative. It depends on when you square root. When you square root, that's when you get one positive and one negative. But your final answers won't always be that way. Okay, last one. Start with getting rid of any addition or subtraction on the outside of your parentheses. I have plus 3 on the outside, so I need to get rid of it with subtracting 3. So I leave everything else the same, 2, then parentheses 3f minus 8 squared equals 53 minus 3 is 50. After you get rid of addition or subtraction, you get rid of multiplication or division. I have timesing by 2. Remember, you cannot distribute. So that means you need to divide by 2 on both sides. Leaves you with your 3f minus 8 in parentheses squared. 50 divided by 2 is 25. After multiplication division, you get rid of your exponents. You have a square you need to get rid of with a square root. So that leaves you with what's on the inside of your parentheses, 3f minus 8 equals the square root of 25 is 5, or you take what was inside your parentheses, 3f minus 8 equals negative 5. Now you can finish solving both of these. Now there's a couple more steps on these ones. I have 3f minus 8 equals 5. You should add the 8 to both sides. Leaves you with 3f equals 5 plus 8, 13. You have 3f equals 13. You can get rid of your 3 by dividing. F equals 13 divided by 3, 4.33. Now we need to go back to 3f minus 8 equals negative 5 and solve that equation. So I have minus 8, so I need to add 8 to both sides. Gives me 3f equals negative 5 plus 8 is kind of like 8 minus 5 is 3. Now I have 3 times f, so I need to divide by 3. Divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. There are your two answers.